Well, good morning and welcome back to the Ugly Farm. I have a horrible idea. I'm still working on the greenhouse today. Going to do a bunch of stuff. I got a wheelbarrow to fix. I got the greenhouse to paint, and I got to move it into position because my horrible idea is to make that metal gate straight with my truck, and then put that on the front of it and make it like a big swing gate. I don't know if it's going to work. I don't think that's going to mess up my truck, but I'm going to go real slow and I'm going to videotape it just in case something goes wrong because I'm pretty sure it'll be hilarious. Let's have a good day. Look how straight that is. Better than it was. Thank you, Rooster crowing. So as you can see, it is almost the same size as this front of the greenhouse here. I'm gonna have to do a little cutting. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just leave it like it is. Put those plastic pieces on the front and make like a hinge system. The problem is this whole piece is now getting too heavy to move around, so I'm gonna have to put it in place, level it out, and then put this gate on. So I'm gonna go ahead and probably paint this today and then work on the gate system, maybe figuring out how to put the plastic on and then how to make a swing system. I have an idea. I have a rebar here, and I think if I put something on the bottom that holds it up a little higher off the ground, and then maybe a wheel on this side. I have an extra wheel from a wheelbarrow, not a wheelbarrow, like just a little one for like a generator or something. I bet I can put it on there, like a little thing you can ride on, because it has ball bearings in it. So I bet that would work. I'm gonna play with it and see. But first, I'm gonna put that. I have a wheelbarrow wheels finally. This is nice. That don't go flat. I got them from Harbor Freight today. I'll put those on so I have a wheelbarrow to haul stuff around in. And then I'll probably get to painting this guy. Y'all come along and watch me mess some stuff up here. So I got these wheels. They're a little bit smaller by 1 inch. But I don't think it's going to matter. They had the 14-inch, but they only had one, and the rubber was all kind of wonky. But these are solid wheels, which are super interesting. So I'm really excited because this wheelbarrow comes in handy, especially for my family when they come out here to feed the animals, because the feed is kind of heavy and we don't always have the gates open, and we have the animals separated. I figured that would be bent, wouldn't it? Yeah. This is going to be a good fix here. I kept fixing the flats on them. There was like, why don't you just fix the tubes? Well, do you see my land? It's full of rocks and cactuses, and every time we use it, it pretty much gets a flat. I'm surprised my truck doesn't have a lot of flats, to be honest with you, because I'm out here all the time, and it really hasn't had too many flats, knock on wood. I bet, watch now, I'll get a flat now that I said that, but hopefully not. So let's see here. They're a little bit, I think I may have to get some washers, because these are a little bit wider. The bearing on these are a little bit wider. I don't know if you can see this or not, but it has like a part that sticks out on these. I don't know. I'll give it a shot. Maybe it won't work. I'll probably have to jerry rig a little bit of it or something. I bet I can fix this right now without even having to try very hard. Oh yeah, look at this right here. Look at this. I bet this will work just fine. It's good when you can think outside the box. So I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here, but I'll get a little bit closer here in just a second. But basically, you have a space around the axle, and I think all I gotta do is put a little bit of PVC around it like that, and that'll prevent it from, yeah, I think that would work. Give it a test drive. Let me show you what I'm working with here. There you go. A little zoom in right there. Look at that. So what I did was I put those PVCs. Oops. Come on, camera, don't fail me now. I just put a little spacer here using that PVC. I bet this will work just fine. Let's see. Let's Let's give it a little bit of a wheelbarrow test here. Looks pretty good. All right, one job complete. Let's go paint that greenhouse black. What's that you say? Cinematic wheelbarrow footage? Yeah, I can do that. Kinda. All right, so this is going to be a problem, I think. Not this painting, but the fact that the camera overheats in 70-degree weather is really, really concerning. It's the iPhone 16, the newest one, and it literally overheated just sitting in the sun for about 5 minutes. So that's going to be that's somewhat disheartening. So I got you in the shade right now. I don't know how well you can see, but basically all I'm going to do is run a brush through here, get some of this stain on. I'm not going to come back and wipe it off. It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be perfect. I just want it to be the color black. That way it absorbs the heat during the spring and fall, and the plants can kind of grow inside there. And I don't know if this is going to be too much or too little, or you know, enough space for what I'm trying to do, but we'll figure that out as we go along. We're going to need to nail this board back in. So anyways, I'm going to get this done. I'm going to time lapse it for you. I'm sure you don't want to sit here and just listen to me ramble. You know, my wife said to me this morning, she said, DJ, you need new pants. What's wrong with my pants? I have a bunch of these pants, and they're really good. Some of them are Carhartt, some of them are Levi's. I like the Levi ones better. This is no advertisement or anything. I'm just telling you which ones I like. But they hold up really, really well, and very rarely do they rip. I have a rip in the back pocket, but that's because I slid down something and caught something. And when they get dirty, they look even cooler. And I don't mean dirty like soiled. I mean dirty like I got stain on them now, like a lot of stain. And if I had brought new pants out there, they would have black stains all over it. So I don't know why she thinks I need new pants. But anyways. Oh, these goats. These goats sure are goats. These sheep sure are curious. I don't know how that looked on the time lapse, but it took me quite a while, maybe about an hour to get this painted. I just, instead of talking through it and goofing around, I just went ahead and just did it. I think it's coming out pretty good. I think it's starting to look uniform now. I'm going to let it dry. I'm going to fill it with this gate here to see if I can make it. I think what I'm going to do is kind of push it up there, put it on a wheel, put it on a brace, and see if it'll swing open and close. And if it does, then I'll trim it out to make sure it fits right here. And then I probably need to rake this a little bit first to make sure it's even. Maybe I'll do that first. All right, let's get to it. Well, this is coming together quite nice. So I have one screw that's really long enough to go through this post. This is an old post that from the fence that I broke off on accident, so I had it laying around. I'm going to use it as a structural piece to hold the gate. I'm going to bolt it to the greenhouse and then use this little my box of little knickknacks here and mount the gate to here. But the problem I'm running into is I only have one screw here and it's kind of stripped. So what I'm going to do is drill me. I have screws that are about 3 inches, so I'm going to drill about 2 inches into here and then screw it in through that hole I drill. And I'm just using this this little bit right here to drill out a hole. Well, I haven't tested it. Let's see if it works. Take these blocks off here. All I need to do is roll out about 3 feet. That way I can get in there. Look at that. That is pretty awesome. I did it. Isn't that cool? All from scraps. Well, it's painted. It's somewhat functional. I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to cut off some of the lip of the board, which I think is the right option, or cut the metal. It won't actually close without issue or without pressure because of its binding down here. So I'm thinking I'll just cut the lid a little shorter with my saw. I think that's the way to go. It'll make the lid lighter. It'll make the front stronger because of the front will be more metal than wood. So, all right, let me see if I can get it done. It's working good though, isn't it? All right, well, the camera went dead on me a little bit, but I got that piece cut. And I think I'm going to use the bottom, use that piece for the bottom to give it a little more stability. These walls kind of move a little bit, so I'm just going to put a little thing right here and just screw it in. Now, if there was any doubt, I think you can kind of see it is becoming a structure. You might even be able to manage or imagine. You might even be able to imagine a greenhouse. If your imagination can run wild, look at that. Okay, that's just too good right there. I think the last thing I'm going to do for the day is put these plastic pieces back on. I am going to put the ones on the front. However, I don't have my zip ties, and I think that's how I'm going to zip tie them to this metal here, so I don't have to drill holes through the metal here, because this is quite thick. It's probably 1/4 inch thick metal, even though it's circle. But yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll just kind of poke some holes through the plastic and zip tie them every few feet or whatever, enough to hold them up there where the wind won't blow them off, and it'll look halfway decent. So yeah, let me get this lid put back together, and I'll show you what I'm. Well, I figured I'd do a exit video and an intro video all in the same one, kind of go over a recap of what I've done. So if you've never seen me before, this is the kind of stuff I build. This is an almost complete miniature greenhouse. The inspiration was this photo. Typically I find something online that I like to build, and I build it. I build it out of pallets, I build it out of scraps. Sometimes I build it out of new product, new wood. It just depends on what the product it just depends on what the project is and what I need to develop it. The garden you see behind you is another project I'm working on. It has to do with this greenhouse. It's a 35 by 35 stretch fence garden. It has water, which I've already done all the water lines for it. I've done all of this myself. I really enjoy this type of work. I really like being out here. It's a 10-acre farm in Texas. I work on 5 acres. The other 5 acres is rented out to some tenants. They do a great job taking care of that side, but this side was originally undeveloped, and I've been busting my ass out here to make it developed, and kind of like a little homestead. I don't live out here, but one day I hope to, or at least be able to have a place to come out and hang out on the weekends, which or maybe even an Airbnb or something. Who knows? Who knows where this is going to go? I have no idea. But we have chickens out here. We have sheep out here. We have a sheepdog, and then we're going to have a garden. So I have eggs. I have potential meat, and then I will have vegetables for the first time this year from this side. The other side I've had gardens on before. As you can see, we have grown stuff. This is a picture of my wife and this massive cabbage. This really got me inspired, along with my health. I've been really unhealthy this year, and I really want to get back to eating natural foods, and I actually want to grow them. So that's what I'm doing here. I hope you enjoy. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I will see y'all next time.